Every Tuesday right here on Off the Bench, we catch up with LSU head football coach as the Tigers will play host the number one team in the country, Alabama, who will be in town at 7 o'clock on Saturday night inside of Tigers Stadium. Your pregame coverage on game day will crank up at 2 o'clock on Eagle 98.1. We are joined now by the LSU head football coach, just like we are every week. Good morning, Coach Orgeron. How are you?
Good morning, guys. Competition Tuesday in Baton Rouge.
Absolutely, Coach. Recap Tell the Truth Monday for our listeners. How'd it go?
Yeah, I really had to praise a lot of our players played their best football, especially on defense. And I was really pleased with the fight that our guys had. Really pleased with the defensive effort to hold Texas A&M to 13 points, 267 yards, to 16 on third down. I thought it was a tremendous effort by the defense. And I told the offense there's some schemes that we got to do better at. We got to put them in better schemes. We got to do a better job of coaching them. And it takes all 11 to protect the quarterback. And all 11 on offense, including the quarterback, are in charge of turnovers. And we got to block better. We got to protect better. I told them I couldn't put that on the freshman quarterback. We got to be able to have better schemes to be able to protect the quarterback. So I think it was a good day. I was really disappointed in the play of our special teams. We've been lights out on special teams all year, but caused a turnover. There was too much pressure on Zach and too many penalties. But, hey, that was Tell the Truth Monday. Our guys were great. They came in a great spirit. We had a great practice on Monday. It's Alabama week. Everybody over here is fired up.
Yeah, Coach, I want to start with that defensive performance because it kind of came out of nowhere. Like, it wasn't just good. It was great. Under 250 yards, 30 points, all those things. And so much of it, to me, the increase in the defense over the last few weeks circles around Micah Baskerville being in the middle of that 4-3, dictating to the offense, playing decisive football. What have you all seen out of Baskerville?
Outstanding play. He's at the right place at the right time. The defensive line, I thought the defensive line had an outstanding game. It was probably their best game. Micah's played well. Everybody's learning both scheme. But another thing, Bob, I know you guys noticed it, is we gave up very few explosive passes, and that was the difference. That was the difference in the ball game.
Yeah, the coverage was fantastic too. Because like the pass rush, I mean, Mon felt it a little bit, but it wasn't getting home that much. But there was nowhere to go with the ball. What about that D line though? Because they were great against the run. It looks like now some new faces getting in. I love seeing 53 out there. Sony Fanua.
Yeah.
First time I've seen 53 make a play in a while. But where did this come from with this defensive line, this performance? Because that's a really good A&M line.
Yeah. They were challenged all week for sure. And I thought Glenn Logan played his best game. Neil Farrell played his best game he's ever played here. BJ was there. We're just getting off of blocks better. We're learning our schemes. And then Sony has been hurt most of his career here, but he's an effort player. He's an older player, knows what he's doing. I was glad to see him have success.
How much confidence does that group get from their performance last week going into what you called yesterday your biggest challenge of an offensive line of Alabama coming in on Saturday night?
It was a perfect test for them, I'll tell you what. And they passed it now. This is the best offensive line I've seen in a long time. I'm watching them right now. They're very good. They're very well coached. It's going to be a challenge. But you know what? This is going to be a physical game. It's a big man's game. We got to win the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football. It's going to be a challenge, but we're up to it.
Coach, one of the things that pops off when you look at this matchup is the experience that Alabama has. And when you talk about that offensive line, I mean, they've got three seniors that headline that group. You've been competing with 59 scholarship guys, which is pretty incredible. How do you get there from a roster management standpoint, and can you guys restore those numbers with just 25, a hard cap that you can sign every year?
Yeah. Well, we're going to get close, I'll tell you that. But everybody that we recruit is going to have to be able to contribute next year, and especially on the offensive line if we lose everybody. So I'm looking for graduate transfers. I'm looking for junior college players, looking for great high school players who are ready to play. That's going to be a key part in our recruiting class.
And then a lot of the hope, Coach, when you're talking about the O-line moving forward into the future, it's the development of these young guys, right? Whether it's like Turner, Martinez, Hill, Doomerville, Bradford. To be completely honest, when I think they got in that Vanderbilt game, I thought they looked very raw, some of the guys maybe a little too big. How do you see these guys developing heading into next year?
We talked about that yesterday. We have a roster management meeting every Monday morning, and I take away the guys that may leave. You got to project some of the juniors that may leave. Obviously, the seniors you're not going to get them unless they choose to come back because they can't come back because of the COVID. But we have some guys that got to lose weight. We got to have some guys that got to get bigger. So there's going to be a big off season for us.
Yeah, and so going back to the game last week, Coach, and the offensive line did struggle, and kind of the most surprising part was a lot of the blitzes that I think that A&M was employing were very similar things to what, like, Dave Aranda did for years, where you're walking up 6 guys in line, and they're only bringing 4, but they're coming from all different sorts of directions. Why was it a scheme thing? Was it the players calling it out wrong? Like, why were y'all getting locked into slides instead of sorting things out more?
Yeah, it was a scheme all the way. We should have went 5-0, T-Ball.
Yeah.
We went 5-0. We were sliding the line. We slid the line the wrong way several times, and they got us. We should have went 5-0, and you know what 5-0 protection is, and we could have, and that's what we usually do. So it was a coaching mistake. And that's up to me, and I got to prevent that. And I told the team that we should not have done that. It wasn't a good decision.
Yeah, so back to, I guess, some of the improvements, though, positively, we mentioned the coverage. How about the game that Cardell Flott played? I mean, not just in coverage, but in run support. The entire secondary seemed to lock in more last week than they have been all year.
Yeah, less mistakes. I think that the more they learn Bulls defense, the more they learn their assignments, the more they learn their adjustments, they're able to play fast. What you saw in Cardell Flott against the Texas A&M game is what I saw all camp. And it just took them a while. It just takes them a little experience to go out there and play fast and learn how to play at game speed.
You have mentioned Devonta Smith and what he means to this Alabama offense. Yep. It seems like you guys can neutralize him with at least talent with Derek Stingley Jr. I know a lot of people are looking forward to that matchup on Saturday night. What do you tell your star cornerback with Smith coming into Tiger Stadium?
Well, obviously, this is what Derek wants. But, Derek's been against Jamar Chase every day, too. And Terrence Martin, too. So, it's good training. But Devonta, you got to give him credit. Steve knows how to give him the ball. He has 72 receptions. He's having a phenomenal year. He's a great player. How
much does this game mean for recruiting, Coach?
A lot. A lot of guys. I think a lot of guys are going to try to come on their own. I think from what we hear, we can't talk to them. We can't give them tickets. But there's some big-time recruits that want to be at this game. And, everybody we're recruiting is either LSU or Alabama, so it's huge.
Coach, as far as some advantages that you think you can maybe gain on Saturday when you're looking at a team as complete as Alabama, what are some of the things that y'all are highlighting?
Well, I just think it's going to be about LSU. We got to go out there and play our best football. Go out there and play free, but we got to be physical. We got to match their physicality. We got to win the game up front. We're going to have to protect the quarterback, obviously, and then protect against the deep ball. We can't allow any explosive passes.
What was that conversation like with TJ Finley after that pick six last week? And then what's it been like kind of throughout the weekend after game film and heading into this week?
It's been great. TJ's a great young man. After the Auburn game, when he had a turnover, some critical turnovers, I didn't say a word to him because he's a freshman. But I told him after that, TJ, we can't allow that. We got to protect the ball. It was the heat of the moment, but I told him, hey, you can't do that in kind of an intense way. But TJ's a good young man. He took the coach, and I just thought it was a teachable moment for him. We talked about it, and we moved forward.
What are you looking for in your quarterback this week in preparation?
Well, just to go ahead and execute the offense. I think that not more or less the quarterback. I think more or less we got to have a great scheme on how we're going to run the football. We got to be more creative and run the football. We got to be exact in our protections, and we got to protect the quarterback. We got to get our guys open. We don't have Terrence Marshall. So here comes DeRay Jenkins. Here comes Corey Moore. Here comes Trey Palmer. Here comes Keyshawn Butte, John Trey Kirkland. It's their turn. They got to show up.
How was the lot? I'm sorry.
And get the ball back and get the ball to Eric Gilbert more.
Yes,
yeah, absolutely,
yes,
for sure.
Absolutely,
how was the locker room yesterday with no Terrace Marshall? I know he delivered the news on Sunday, and you met with the group. How was that for the first time?
Jordan, the guys were good. They were good. Everybody knew that we played our best game in some phases. Everybody knew that we didn't play well in some other phases. It was a 24-hour rule. We moved on, but it's Alabama week, and these guys got to bounce in their step.
Love it.
Get any word about that Keyshawn Butte touchdown taken off the board from the league office?
Yeah, she'd come back today, but
Yeah.
I'll probably know what the answer is going to be already.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was a great play by the freshman,
Yeah,
Coach.
it was.
a fantastic play by your true
for
freshman.
real.
Looking forward to
You'll see many more from them, I promise.
Did y'all send in? Just curious. Did y'all send in the pick immediately afterwards, where on the replay it clearly looks like the ball hit the ground?
Yeah, all that has been sent in, and Doug does a great job of getting it from the coaches, and we usually get a response today or tomorrow.
Bama Week, Coach. Looking forward to Saturday night. Thank you for the time this morning.
Go Tigers.
Yes, sir. There's Coach Ed Orgeron checking in this morning from LSU football. We'll close out hour one next.